my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me today. So today is a very different video. It's like a video I've never done before. I'm doing some batch cooking. This is kind of a follow-on from Sunday's video where I went to Aldi and I spent £20 on food, and I was going to see how many meals I could get from it. I was absolutely amazed at how many meals I actually got. I'd done 5 dishes in total. I'd done a chicken curry, I'd done Cajun chicken, I'd done spaghetti bolognese, I'd done chili con carne and shepherd's pie. It did take us a long time to do it, most of the day. It went on to the evening, and then I realised when I got to the end that I didn't have a masher, because when I was doing my kitchen I threw my old one away, so I then had to go over to B&M, buy a new masher. But I did get quite a lot of meals from it. So without further ado, I'm going to hop straight into the video. I'd actually done this video yesterday and I forgot to film an intro, so that's why I'm doing it today. So without further ado, I'm going to get straight into the video. Okay guys, I've laid everything out that I'm going to be using today on the bench to make the 5 different dishes. I'm going to be using paprika, cumin and some mixed herbs in the chilli. In the spaghetti bolognese, I'm going to be using some mixed herbs. In the Cajun, obviously I'll be using the Cajun spices. I'm going to be using the curry sauce. I've also got some garlic here. I've got some frozen chilies. Got some stock cubes. I've got tomato puree. I have got some chicken breast, 2 bags of corn mince, 4 tins of chopped tomatoes, 1 can of red kidney beans. I've got some Galaxy chocolate, it's 70% chocolate, so that'll go, a couple of squares will go in the chilli at the end. I've got a bag of onions, a bag of carrots, a bag of peas, a bag of peppers and 2 bags of baked potatoes. I have got some more peppers and onions in the fridge which I might end up using. But I'm going to do the prep work now, so I'm going to move all this to one side so we've got like a clear working space and we'll get started. So I've started by peeling all of the onions. I did get another couple out of the fridge because when I worked it out I just thought another couple would be a bit more beneficial. So I'm going to use these 5 for the curry and I'm going to use the rest for the other dishes. So I'm just going to chop these up. And now I'll start on the peppers. I've already washed the peppers. I did get a couple of extra ones out of the fridge as well because they were starting to turn a little bit, but I hate waste, so I'm going to use them up anyway. Now that all the peppers and onions are done, I'm going to move on to the root vegetables. So I'm going to do the carrots and the potatoes. So I'm just going to peel those and slice them. I've peeled all of the root vegetables now, so I'm just going to chop the carrots and potatoes. I've also boiled the kettle and I'm going to put them in the same pan to save on gas. I'll just separate them at the end. I'm also then going to move on to the garlic and the chilies, and I'm just going to chop the garlic nice and fine, and also I'm going to deseed the chilies. I think a lot of people think that the heat is in the chili, but it's actually not, it's in the membrane. So if you run your finger along the membrane, you can find out how hot the chilies are. I'm personally going to use 3 because So I've got 3 pans on the go. In the first pan, I've just put a little bit of salt in there with the carrots and the potatoes. In this pan, I'm going to just brown off my corn, just using a little bit of olive oil. And in the back pan, I'm going to start my vegetables off. I'm going to cook them all together using on the same hob, like I say, just to save on fuel as well. The corn's been out of the freezer for maybe about, I don't know, half an hour now. Lots of people hate corn and they don't like it and they say it's got no taste. And I agree, it hasn't. But once you start adding like lots of spices and things like that and sauces to it, I honestly don't think you can tell the difference. Right, I'm about to spill some of these, aren't I? I don't think these are going to cook very well, obviously, because there's so many of them. But I'll just keep stirring them around, and even if I just sweat them off a little bit. So I'll give these about 15 minutes and I'll come back to you. Now that the corn is almost done, I'm going to take that out of the pan and I'm going to put that back into the glass mixing bowl. And I'm going to use the same pan to do the chicken. I wouldn't normally do it like this if I was doing it like on a normal, if I was just making one meal, but because I'm making a few different meals, I'm just kind of using the same pans and I'm kind of doing things separate the easiest way I can. So I've just put a little bit of oil in there. I'm going to throw the chicken in whilst that's heating up. Now that everything's starting to sweat down in this pan, all the peppers and onions, I'm now going to throw in all of the garlic because the garlic's going to go into every dish as well. So I'll just pop that in there. Give it a quick mix around. I didn't want to put it in too soon because I didn't want it to burn and go bitter. Potatoes and the carrots are cooking away nicely there. So now I'm just going to add in the chicken. So I've chopped up 6 chicken breasts in total. And they were quite large chicken breasts as well. It shouldn't take too long to cook down. I'll use this on this pan now and I'll use that on there because it's raw meat. Now that the chicken is all browned off, I'm just going to put that in a separate bowl. Now that everything is cooked, I've plated them into 4 different meals because this is going to be tonight's meal, so I'm going to add some of the chicken into that. This is going to be turned into chicken curry, so obviously that'll get chicken as well. This is going to be the chilli and the spaghetti bolognese, and this one is going to be the shepherd's pie. I've got the corn there, so I need to add them to these 2 meals, and then we can start packing in some flavour with some spices and some tomato puree and things like that. I've got the potatoes there, they're boiled, they're ready for mashing to go on top of the shepherd's pie. So I'm going to start putting the protein on the plates now, and then I'll get them back in the pan and we'll start adding some bits. Shepherd's pie on now, and I've also got the chilli and spaghetti bolognese. I'm going to split that again. So all I'm going to add to the shepherd's pie is some gravy, and I'll just let that simmer away and thicken up. I might need to add some more actually when that cooks down. I'm also going to add, actually I forgot, I'm going to add some garden peas as well. So I'll just put those in now. And for this one, I'm going to put some tomato puree, and I'm going to cook that off for a few minutes so it loses that bitter taste. I think if you don't cook it off, sometimes it's quite bitter. A little bit of water I'll put in there as well. The trouble is my pans aren't big enough to do all this batch cooking malarkey. Just turn that up a bit. And then I'm going to put a huge amount of mixed herbs in, which has got probably basil, oregano and things like that. But this will be alright for the chilli as well. Right, I'm just going to turn the heat down on this and let it simmer so it goes nice and thick. And then I'm going to add a really nice creamy mash to that. Once this comes to the boil, I'm then going to add in some tomatoes. So I'm doing the spaghetti bolognese first, then I'll take that away and then I'll make it into chilli by adding the chili peppers, the paprika and the cumin. But I just want to cook off this tomato puree first. This pan's just not going to be big enough, I don't think. I always like to put some grated nutmeg in spaghetti bolognese. Okay guys, so that's been cooking for about 20 minutes now. The cottage pie is done and soaked up most of the liquid, and this is almost done as well. So I'm going to separate this now. So I'll just turn it off and I'm going to split it in two. So half is going to go for the spaghetti bolognese and half is going to go for the chilli. So now I'm going to turn this into chilli, and how I'm going to do that is I'm going to add my chili peppers, I'm going to add some paprika, spoonful of paprika and a spoonful of cumin as well. Then I'll put the heat back on and I'll drain these kidney beans and I'll add those. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a couple of squares of this dark chocolate. And that should give it some nice. So now it's time to make the curry, guys. So I'm using this Mayflower curry, and I'm using 2 boxes of this one, and this is the extra hot one. Because I am sort of using almost 6, oh no, I'm going to be using probably about maybe 5 chicken breasts in this. So I just thought I would use like 2 of these Mayflower curries. I'm just going to break it down, and then I'm just going to mix it into a paste before I put it on the heat. It's bubbling away nicely now, so I'm going to add in the rest of my ingredients. So I'm going to pop back in the onions and the peppers and the carrots. And I'm also going to put the chicken back in. Obviously I need to leave some out for my Cajun chicken for this evening. So I'm probably going to put in about 4.5 chicken breasts or something in there. And then I'm just going to let that bubble away for 15 minutes. I'm going to see how many curries I can get out of this now. So I'm just mashing the potato. Like I say, I've just put some milk in and some butter in. Bit of salt and pepper. I'm going to make tonight's meal. So I've just got a large pan on the back there. I'm going to put some water in and some pasta. This is literally such a quick meal. So you would have seen that this is what was left over from today: the chicken, pasta, chicken, carrot, onion, peppers. So I'm just going to put some whole wheat pasta in. I'm going to heat this chicken up. I'm going to put a good amount of Cajun seasoning in. I'm now going to put some of this soft cheese in with garlic and herb. I normally use like the half that one, but we didn't have any. I'm going to use that to make the sauce. And then to make that into a cheese sauce, we just add some milk. And then it'll become like quite thick as it cooks down, and that other cheese melts. And that's how we make a Cajun sauce. Right guys, I think I'm going to end this vlog here. So my pasta's almost done, and this is the Cajun. So as you can see, it's made quite nice sauce. Out of today's batch cook, I got 26 meals in total. I got 2 Cajun, 9 curries, 5 chilies, 4 spaghetti bolognese and 7 shepherd's pies. So I would say that is definitely a win-win. And I still got 3 chicken breasts to put in the freezer.